love to dance. So I thought, what the heck, I need a vacation.
I haven't been dancing very much yet.
No, I'm just starting.
Really risky stuff?
Well, Merv, there's one thing I've learned in all my years is sometimes you gotta say, what the heck? What's your move?
Are you a good-looking person?
No. I mean, I guess when anyone looks at themselves in the mirrors, I mean, I see more so my weaknesses as a person, and somehow, I mean, I never look at myself in the mirror and say, hey, you know, wow, hey, look at that face, you know, you should be an actor.
A little bit of danger?
Yeah, sure. I enjoy excitement, yeah, I guess. And the great thing about success is that I have the freedom in the room.
Be an F-14 fighter pilot. It's a tough life. You know, you really have to be dedicated. They only take the best of the best, you know, to get to where they are. And Top Gun is only the top 1% of naval aviators gets to go there and, you know, go into ACM, Air Combat Maneuvering. So it's a tough life, especially in the Navy. You're living on a carrier for 9 months. You're risking your life every day when you're going up. Landing on a carrier is, you know, a frightening, to say the least, experience.
You're a self-described risk taker. How is that?
Self-described.
That's what you say about yourself. You like risk. You've told me that before, right?
It's true, yes.
How does that factor into your success, do you think? This will be the psychological probing section of the interview.
Yes. I think, you know, just taking chances, trying different things.
What does Captain Planet mean to you? Another little thing I got.
Yeah, what does it mean to me? It means, you know, I work, I'm on the board of ECO, Earth Communication Office, which is, we're trying to get environmental messages out to the world and just communicate what people are doing to the Earth. And Captain Planet is an entertaining way to educate the youth and get them involved in recycling, educate them on, you know, so they'll take responsibility.
Which character were you?
Nathan Detroit, Frank Sinatra character.
Oh, really? You sing and dance?
Well, barely, but I, you know.
Really? You can sing and dance? Yes? I knew you were. You know, I'm not the kind of guy that would embarrass somebody and put him on the spot.
You toured with Miles. Let's see you first. You go, then I'll go, Jess.
Oh, no, I was doing.
I mean, hip sliding and sliding. I know I waxed the floor and just, you know, because he wanted it center frame, so I waxed the floor and then put dust over there so I'd only go so far. No, I just took my pants off and went, you know.
Hey, just tell us what brings you and Nick to the People's Choice Awards.
He calls me Nick.
You and Nick?
No.
We were nominated. My picture was
nominated.
Yeah, my picture was nominated. That's why we're here.
Why the People's Choice Awards? What makes them special then?
Well, it's because it's the people. That's who we make the movies for, and just to be nominated for this, it's very important, and it means a great deal to me. You know, I think that people on a daily basis, whether they realize it or not, are dealing with truths and lies and moral choices, and a lot of times that it's very difficult for someone who takes the high road. You know, it's very rough waters and deep waters.
This is a tuxedo. Yes. Is it? Well, thank you. I guess I'm going to be in that group, yes. I see how it's going to read tomorrow. Didn't wear a tux and a tie.
You know, people say, well, what's different about Stanley? You know, Stanley's movies, when you look at them on their own or collectively, you know, his pictures, whether you like them, whether you don't like them, they are art. And art, for me, is something that challenges you. Art doesn't necessarily solve problems of life and wrap it up and, oh, this is what life is about, but it poses questions.
I'm sorry, I'm just got off a little jet lag, just got off a plane, and just pretty amazed right now. But I've got a lot of friends that I've got a lot of people I've got to thank.
I
just think it's the love of what I do. I love what I do. And I think the feeling of recognizing that, recognizing what it is, I think early on what I wanted to do, and not taking it for granted. And I really am, you know, the kind of person.
Maker Errol Morris crisscrossed America asking moviegoers and culture makers a question: what do movies mean to you? And you answered. So let's expand this beautiful stage into every one of your homes, and maybe even some of you will answer this question as you stand on this stage tonight. What do movies mean to you? So pull up a sofa. It's just us talking. It's Oscar night. That really hit me, and because that's how I aspire to live my life, with integrity, compassion, honor, loyalty. Those are things that I think about and that mean something to me. But I definitely, in making the picture, I got to really get inside a different culture, and one that I'm absolutely fascinated by. You know, I find when I'm preparing for a character, you look at, and particularly a kind of character like this, who is really dramatizing some very serious antisocial behavior. And the thing that I look at is trying to understand the moral code, because you look at any individual and... Because the truth is that what everyone knows is that Steven Spielberg is the greatest storyteller cinema has ever known. Every director is very different, but I can just tell you what it's like working with Steven Spielberg, which it is a creative combustion. It's not an analytical, it's not a mechanical process. It's an inspired process, and something that just happens on the moment. Although this was the fastest pre-production. No, we're going to get married.
Yeah.
In the next couple of months.
The next couple of months.
Yes.
All right. You see, all guys are vague. No matter, you know, whether it's the guy at the gas station or the biggest movie star in the world. Hey, it's in a couple of months. Guys never seem to know. That's like some mental block area.
No, we were going to plan it. We were planning it.
Let me get your shovel. You want to dig your way out?
We're going to plan this.
You're going to plan this.
We're talking about it.
Okay.
We're making lists. Their own, with what they're going to walk away with, their own personal views, maybe it'll enlighten them in certain areas and challenge them, definitely. I think that it's a picture that is incredibly relevant today, and it's a reminder. And I also think I started working when I was about 8 years old. I sold Christmas cards, door-to-door, Valentine's Day, and I think probably the most interesting job I had at that time is I bagged ice.
So that's actually you?
That's me.
And there's a harness involved. I guess there's a harness.
Yeah, I had a harness and a very thin wire, but when you're doing the jump, I had to hit a mark, and there was no net and all of that.
How high up were you there?
We were thousands of feet.
That's unbelievable. I mean, I get scared just watching that.
Yeah. I used to call people to the side and ask them questions to the side of the cliff, just to...
Well,
just they're looking down just to freak them out.
Oh, and that shot there at the end when you're holding on, because
that hurt. Yeah, I tore my shoulder on that shot, actually. Wow. I love you all. It's a real honor for me to be here tonight in this great city of London, this great country, England. You know, I've made several films here. I've been fortunate. And if you don't mind, I'd like to give a big shout out to all the great filmmakers and the great actors. Because when the temperature of the building, at that height, it was also, the sun is beating down on it. It's in Dubai, so I had to measure the exterior of the building, the temperatures, and I was getting daily updates and kind of looking at the past year of what the temperatures are there. And then we went and had to figure out with wardrobe and props the kind of material that I'd use to try to protect my skin in case the metal got too hot to burn me.
Okay. What were you like when you were 17?
You know, what was I like? I was like, just wanted to get on with my life.
Mm-hmm. Were you bad kid? Good kid?
No, good kid. Wanted to go to New York. I was saving my money for Europe or going to New York to become an actor.
Oh, well, you apparently made the right choice. You apparently made the right choice.
Jack is a futuristic blue-collar guy, basically. You know, he's a guy who he fixes drones, and he's in charge of security for the resource gatherers and those big machines that are gathering up Earth's seawater, you know, to be utilized for the new colony on Titan.
Thank you. You exercise, don't you? I can tell.
Not much.
You're very solid. You're very solid. So, like today, what did you do the first thing you woke up this morning? What did you do?
Brush my teeth.
Okay. Just like regular people.
Just
Stars
like
really are just like
You gotta
us.
floss, you gotta do the whole thing. Just gotta get it over with.
Do you shave yourself, or do you have a team that does that for
I
you?
have people that do that for me.
That's nice.
Yeah, if you ever need any help. You know what, they strap me on the side of the plane beforehand, and then they start the engines. Then we taxi, then I go down the runway. And I remember telling the pilot, I said, listen, you know, I got to work with a test pilot. I'm a pilot. I love flying airplanes. So I'm like, look, the angle of attack, I want to make sure my legs are hitting against the fuselage. And he was just kind of smiling at me the whole time. And I was like, really, I needed my legs to hit the fuselage because we set the camera up on the airplane so that you see the ground going away. It's really, just as an actor, a very fun character to play, challenging to play, and I think enormously entertaining for an audience. The movie opens almost at the end of a movie, and this woman who helps him and helps these other people, and it starts this relationship between them, just a dialogue, and she actually has his old job at the 110th. And I remember when I first started making movies, we didn't travel around that much. You know, we'd go and do interviews, and I finally said to the studios, I said, look, let's bring premieres to all of these countries, and then we can meet the fans, and you know, for me, that's what it's about. I make my movies for people, and I love those evenings, and just have it be a celebration of movies and entertainment.
And congratulations on that.
Yes.
You do.
Yeah. It was funny because when I got up to the top of that skid, and I have to, first of all, I got to climb up that thing a million times. It was freezing cold. When I got up there, I go into a free fall down the rope, and there was just a moment where I'm thinking, I don't want to let go. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, because you know it's coming. We know what you
Yeah,
have
and I
to
just
do.
don't want to, because I'm free fall. I don't want to end up on my head hitting that ball. You know, I mean, I rehearse.